Good afternoon, everyone. Watching the cold weather hurricane. Follow it. It's a bombogenesis yet again. Hundreds of Thanksgiving snowfall records smashed. And check out the cyclonic spin over the next few days into December. More rain, more snow. Following on the Sudden Stratospheric Warming event, it is definitely starting to set up. You can see the wind pattern there, 10 millibars. Lenticular clouds northwest to Italy. And check out this Bitcoin silver round when you turn it on the backside. Grand solar minimum? Because it looks like exactly where we're heading, even though all the experts are predicting solar cycle equivalent to solar cycle 24. Perhaps not. That's why we're seeing the changes happen so rapidly. The new Patriot Brother X 2020 flashlight model is here. With all the common threats occurring across the globe, we have extreme weather, natural disasters, now blizzards, power grid failures, instability in governments. And with the holiday season upon us, Patriot Flashlight is the perfect gift of night protection for you and your loved ones. Solar-powered recharging, which means you can plug other devices into it, knowing that you have a power source with you. And as you would expect with an emergency flashlight, a compass, wire and rope cutter, a glass breaking hammer. You can clone the design, but you can't clone the performance. Patriot Brother X 2020 flashlight, lightweight, very durable, compact, great for handling all emergencies. So the question is, how prepared are you if your power goes out? Use the promo code ADAPT25 for 25% off. The link's in the description box below. A glimpse at the NOAA warning and watch map here. Look at this mess. How many colors, how many warnings, what is going on here? It's so much activity in our atmosphere. And for the last 5 days, been following the bombogenesis. Well, it's actually a cold weather hurricane that landed at 100 miles per hour. I think that's category 2 hurricane, but they wouldn't want to spook you because it's way up near the border of Canada in cold weather in November, and it's a hurricane, and it doesn't make sense. The sting jet, as it's termed, the whipping tail of the scorpion. Following it in, Stu has this full-on GIF that shows the progression from Asia all the way over to the west coast of the U.S. Taking a little bit different glimpse here of this bomb cyclone landing. And what do we get? Snow in unexpected Southern California. And I ask you to look at this. Does that look normal with that kind of yucca plants and full tree cover? And then jumping over to Joshua Tree, again, strange and rare snow. And I think when it's quoted there, a sight you don't see very often, snow covering Joshua trees in the high desert of Southern California, that is an understatement. And as the storm progressed, dumping snow in the desert southwest, record snows in the Four Corners area, hundreds of Thanksgiving snowfall records smashed across the United States. Now, since the storm is just passing, they're still trying to get these totals in. They're not officially into the record books yet, but it might approach more than 1,000 snowfall records as this event finishes up here. 500 millibars, pretty easy to discern where the storm was, where it landed, right in the west coast there. And then follow the progression through off pivotal weather as it goes through the crop growing zones in the United States. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just finished by now. Oh no, you mean it's turning into a bomb cyclone just like we saw in the spring? Massive winds, massive rain, and on the periphery where it's cold enough, snow. But look at that cyclonic spin, just like it was coming in off the west coast. Unbelievable cyclonic action in our atmosphere. Now WX charts here showing the wind where it starts to get up in the purple, up into that very light purple. You're looking at around 60, 65 miles per hour. This chart is in kilometers per hour. So remember, 100 kilometers per hour is 60 miles per hour. We got to convert over from the metrics for those of you in the States there. You can do a pretty good approximate conversion at 0.6. More wind, more snow, more rain. Beware over the next few days. And the most amazing thing, even prior to this storm hitting Colorado, they still had historic snowfalls. forcing communities to all but shut down. 20 inches of snow, and now they're going to add on top of this. Because this previous storm here broke all municipality records going back as far as they had, doubling the previous record. In times when we were told that our children would never know what snow was again. We would never see snow again, except doubling the old records here. And a better glimpse where the cold temperatures are extending all the way down through Baja and into northern Mexico. That warm scorpion tail whip is that bombogenesis right in the center of the U.S. over our grow zones. Yet again, so how much can this continue before our crops really struggle? If we have a planting season similar to this year in the 2020, we're going to have to seriously consider moving our grow zones and hardiness zones into different species of plants. Think about ancient grains to replace some of what doesn't grow in its present position. Now, Severe Weather EU has been following the formation of the ozone hole as well as the setup for the sudden stratospheric warming that's going to knock more polar air off center. Coming through the beginning of December and into January, a full 5-week event here, and it is underway. Taking a look off Null School, 10 millibars. You're looking over Norway and straight up to the east there. Might not be so easy to discern where this is starting to happen in the atmosphere, but the wind pattern's setting up and the temperatures are starting to rise. So this is going to have an adverse effect on different types of jet streams and Arctic airflows. Now for the example right here, perfect view of cooler and drier air mass. This is going to continue through the next week. Now staying with the beauty of Europe here, northwest Italy, Monteviso. Check out these lenticular clouds. I know it's about a month-old photo, but still, how incredible is this? They had record snow up there during this time. So if you think the United States with record snow for the third yet rare out-of-season snow and cold, well, Europe's experiencing the exact same thing. And myself being a fan of sound money, I was taking a look at these different 1-ounce silver rounds, and I thought, oh, okay, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, that's pretty interesting. But then when you flip over the backside, take a look where it says decentralized consensus, and I said, what is that down there? GSM. OMG. Grand solar minimum? I thought, no, is that really grand solar minimum on the back of a Bitcoin silver round? I don't know, but anyway, as we take a look where we are with the sunspots, we are at the bottom of the 11-year solar minimum. Still waiting for the kickstart into solar cycle 25. Average sunspot count, at least on my end, along with John Casey and quite a few others, 50 sunspots or less. The rest of the experts out there are saying it's going to be at least equivalent to what we had solar cycle 24, this particular solar cycle. But everything is happening so much faster than predicted. So we shall see what it is. I'm calling 50 sunspots. I'm going to be putting out a video explaining the method behind the madness, why it came at 50 sunspots average. And the rest of the experts out there around 90 to 120. We shall see as we move through. But there are going to be more sunspots eventually. We're at the bottom of the 11 year, so it's going to get cool for this winter. And hopefully we'll get some sunspots coming up soon here to kickstart 25. But in the meantime, long sleeve tees, trigger Extinction Rebellion or Al Gore. Adapt 2030 merch. It's not CO2, it's not you. It is the sun. The link's in the description box below, as well as links to all the stories that I covered tonight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.